Week 38. The streak of consecutive weeks is over. But Christian and I took a much-needed vacation. So we went to Miami. Had a great time. We were gone Tuesday through Saturday. Fantastic time, fantastic weather. Sat on the beach all week. It was perfect.
In the pool.
And in the pool. We had a little rooftop pool action. That was dope. So, we're 2 weeks since our last episode. A lot has happened. And we're going to start with the NBA playoffs. These semifinals are underway. Jazz took a 1-0 lead last night over the Clips in a very good game. Sixers tied the series at 1 against Atlanta. The Nets look absolutely dominant. They're up 2-0 against Milwaukee. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, they're not skipping a beat with no James Harden on the sideline, making Milwaukee look like kids, making Giannis look foolish. Kevin Durant is so good. Please don't forget that. This dude is insanely gifted at the game of basketball. Unbelievable. Suns 1-0 lead up on Denver. Tonight is game 2. That's the only game on tonight. Nikola Jokic, MVP. Congrats to him. Help for getting this team. And I think it's lost because of how good Nikola Jokic has been this season and how he's carried this team. They are without Jamal Murray, who had such a good postseason run in the bubble last season. That great series against Utah. It was Mitchell versus Murray matching shot for shot last year. And they don't have their number one point guard. And the fact that they're still getting quality minutes out of their bench, guys like Monty Morris, Michael Porter Jr. is playing really well. Nuggets look good, but they have a very tough matchup and a tough team in Phoenix as they are down 1-0. Chris Paul, my man, I think he came in like 5th for the MVP vote. I think he got like 1 first place vote. Wish he showed a little bit more love. He got no love. But it was Jokic, Embiid, Steph Curry was up there, Giannis got some votes, Derrick Rose got a first place vote. I think that the MVP, they get like a fan first place vote or something. So I think Rose was like the NBA fans first place vote. So hey, I mean, I think if you look at the list, you could say based on like total points, Derrick Rose came in like 7th place in the MVP voting, which is kind of funny. Just off 1 vote. That was the only vote he got. It was 1 first place vote. Now, because the last time we were here, we were still talking about the New York Knicks.
True. Oh, yeah.
So, a moment of silence, a little quick one. But they couldn't get it done. And I'll go back just a little bit. I know this is, old news. But Tom Thibodeau wins Coach of the Year, deservingly so. I didn't know if he was going to get it. I thought NBA might have been more towards like a team that, was one of the best. I thought that maybe Quinn Snyder or Monty Williams, Suns or Jazz, who had really good seasons out of the West Conference, out of the Western Conference, but they got it right. I think Tibbs was that, Coach of the Year, Manager of the Year type of person that they went above and beyond expectations, and it was because of coaching that he got the most out of his players during the regular season, and that was the New York Knicks. It was Randall, it was Barrett, just the defense as a team, being the best defensive, efficient team on the floor, and that you have to tip your cap, and it's all to Tom Thibodeau. So very happy that he won Coach of the Year. Now they got work to do. They got to run it back. A very good season this past year made New York Knicks basketball fun to watch. It was the talk, until they got knocked out of the playoffs. They were being talked to through June. And that's a W. That's a win. That's very good stuff. And we'll look on it for this offseason. Who are they going to go for? Damian Lillard, with the Blazers getting knocked out, been a handful of talks. Knicks are asking Portland, what do we think? What do we like? Because they need to bring in a true number one. I think you bring back Randall. He might get that max deal with the Knicks, get him through the age of, his 30-year-old season. If you sign for like another 4. He needs help, though. And they need a true number one. So I would feel that they bring Lillard in, or I don't know how much is on the free agent. I don't need a guy like Oladipo, something like that. That's not going to get you over the hump. That's, I need a true one. And Dame Time is that true number one. Need it. And he I mean, at some point, I know Dame, it's home for him in Portland, Oregon, West Coast, where he grew up. But at some point, big city's calling. And how many times are you going to run it back with CJ McCollum and have a Blazers team that is a very good, solid team, but has not been able to get over any hump whatsoever while Lillard's been here? They have a handful of playoff series wins. Obviously, the biggest notable one when he hit the game winner from like the half court logo over Paul George a few years ago against OKC. But I think he wants more and he deserves more. So that's the one thing I'm looking for in this offseason is if they could pry Damian Lillard to New York, that would be insane. It would make New York even more star-studded than it is, especially with Irving and Durant and Harden, all in Brooklyn already. So, breakdown of these series. The Philadelphia and Atlanta series already super, super chippy. I love it. It's like Atlanta basically continued the chippiness, the grittiness from the series against the Knicks. They are not going down without a fight. They won game 1, lost a tough one last night, but things are getting heated. These teams, like this rivalry developed in this series just like the Hawks and Knicks one did in round 1. I'm taking Philly, though. I think Philly gets it done in 6. We'll bring it over to the Nets Bucks. I think, honestly, the way it's off now, and it's easy right now, I mean, you can predict whatever. Nets are up 2-0. Milwaukee looks so lifeless right now. Another team that I think Budenholzer might be canned after this season just based off of team performance. Although you get a tough matchup in Brooklyn. Essentially, I would say the best team in the East. I think they're better than Philly, regardless of how they ended the season. I think the Nets get it done in 5. I bet you the Bucks squeak one win out. You're down 2-0. I think there's life. I mean, they played terrible basketball in game 2. I don't think they'll repeat that flat performance. The 2 Western ones are very interesting. It's the Clippers and the Jazz, and then Denver, Phoenix. I like Phoenix in 7. I think that one goes the distance. And the Clippers, after playing 7 games against Luka Doncic and the Mavericks, I truly think they played a tight game, and they were still it was like that game 7 hangover. Like, so fatigued, they just went through a crazy battle against a good, solid team, one of the best players in the league, and you still only lose by 3. Yes, Utah's been fantastic all season, but I think the Clippers match up well, and I think the Clippers go the distance again, and they take a game 7 out of this series. I think these are the 2 best series that we have to look at. I feel like the Nets and Bucks one's going to be done soon. I mean, I think the Hawks get another game out of Philly, another win, but I think Philly's too good. These are the 2 best evenly matched, games that we should see before the conference finals, and then obviously the finals. But those are my 2 matchups. I love Chris Paul. I'm rooting for him, and if the Clippers don't get it done in this round, I'm wondering where Kawhi wants to go, because I don't see him staying with the Clippers if they don't make big noise. Now, maybe a finals appearance would definitely help. Maybe a conference finals would help. But they were great. They came back in the series against the against the Mavericks. Gritty series win. I'm wondering if the Clippers are still going to fall into the narrative of the underachieving franchise that I feel like that's been the narrative over the past few seasons. Lots of good basketball, though, this upcoming week. Game 2, Nuggets, Suns. That is tonight. Watch the MVP go against this young group in the Phoenix Suns.